Good morning, all, or whatever time it is, whoever watches this, wherever you are. Welcome to today's video. Just kind of woke up, took Jasmine to work, took the babies out. My babies, if you don't follow the channel, I have two pugs, hence the pug shrine there, so took them out. And now we're just getting back to work, enjoying some coffee. If you don't follow the channel, or if you do, you will know that, and I always kind of say this as a disclaimer, but you will know that I lived in Canada for 5 years, originally from the UK, and then with all the bullshit that's happened in the last 2 years, almost 2.5 years, moved back to the UK because of how Canada dealt with that certain situation. Try not to say certain words because I don't want this video to be flagged, although a really small channel, I still don't want any kind of flag on the channel. So it's almost been, we're at 4th of May. It's almost been a whole year since we moved back to England. Since I moved back to England, Jasmine moved here completely new, she was from Canada originally, born in Ottawa, we lived in Toronto together. And I've always said that I would have never moved back to England full time if this bullshit didn't happen. I would have never done that. It would have never even been on my radar. I love Canada. I love the people of Canada. I love the reason why I moved there. I love North American culture, whatever that may be defined as, but I just love that culture. I love the wilderness. I love the vast size of that continent. Always the big plane going over our head, by the way. But I would have never left there. Never left. Come back here a few times. I've visited every year, but I would have never left Canada and come back to the UK. But the real reason why we did, and I've mentioned this a few times, but just to kind of recap, after almost a year of being away from Canada and kind of talking to my friends who are still there, seems like things have got a little bit better in terms of restrictions, not having to wear face coverings in places, or not making things mandatory. But there's some things that still are kind of like doesn't quite make sense, like the whole, my mother-in-law has just been here for 3 weeks. She traveled from Ottawa, stayed with us for 3 weeks, left yesterday, fully V'd, or the W, fully V'd, but still has to go through all these hoops that the V'd, which, again, W, which I am not, they were told that if they did these things, they wouldn't have to do these extra things that they're still having to do. This is not what this video is about, that I'm saying this is this. But there's just weird things. I read something, I'm not completely sure how factual it is. Maybe if someone who watches this can fact check me. But if you live in Canada right now, so in my situation, if I lived in Canada right now with a British passport, but as a permanent resident in Toronto, in Canada, I could, maybe not because I'm not V'd, but I could leave and come back as I please because I'm not a Canadian citizen. The rules are harsher and stricter for Canadian citizens. I read that, didn't fact check it, kind of got annoyed by it, but didn't fully invest. So if anyone knows that's true, it wouldn't surprise me because I just don't know what the Canadian government is. I don't know how they get away with treating their people so poorly. I know the stereotype of Canadians is polite and nice and happy, but to go along with this narrative that everything your government's doing is in your best interest is absolutely crazy, because that's clearly not been the case over the last almost 2.5 years. And again, that was the reason why we decided to leave. It was a hard decision. There was, even from like the week prior to leaving, I was kind of like, I don't know if we're going to do this. I don't know if we should. Our flights were booked, but I don't know. We had to go to France first because of our situation not being V'd, and we had the dogs, and the dogs aren't allowed to fly into the UK because they're pugs and they only allow flat face. They don't allow flat face dogs in cargo, which I would have never put them in cargo. So we had to go to France so they could fly in cabin with us below our feet, which cost thousands of dollars. Then we had to get a car from the airport in Paris to Dieppe to the coast. And then we had to get a 4-hour ferry from Dieppe to New Haven in the UK and a 5-hour car ride from New Haven to York. So it was almost like a 24-hour, if not longer, traveling day that we had to go through. It cost a lot of money. In normal circumstances, it wouldn't have been that. The rules may have still applied for the dogs, but it wouldn't have been as crazy in terms of getting everything over and getting everything sorted. And obviously last year things weren't as relaxed as they are in the UK now. I think my mother-in-law, when she visited, didn't realize how relaxed it was here in the UK, in the sense of no face coverings are required anywhere. You don't have to wear them anywhere, and you don't have to show any QR codes, or you don't have to show any proof of anything anywhere, unless it's like an airport or whatever. But that's, to me, and I don't know if that's, to me right now, it's a good thing. There might be a more sinister, just going deep into it, there may be more of a sinister outlook behind that, kind of lures into a false sense of comfortability, and then, I don't know, I hope not. But yeah, the reason why we moved back to England, one, because Jasmine kind of says that she always feels like I would have moved back here just to experience it, to see what it was like living back home after being away for 6 years. Because I always say that the person that left to go to Canada in 2016? It's 2016, yeah. The person that left to go to Canada then, I'm not that person anymore. I know it sounds cliche and kind of corny, but I'm not. Like, I completely changed who I am. Who I am now is who I'm going to be forever. I'll change and adapt and learn and everything else. That'll always fall into the category. I'm not stubborn that I'll never change and become so stuck in my ways or ideas. I'm always learning and wanting to learn. But in terms of as a person, I found comfort in who I am. When I left for Canada, I was very much still at the age of 25, 26. I don't know. I was still a boy. I was definitely still a boy, and Jasmine said she recognized that. But coming back here, feeling like an adult, whatever that means, but feeling like me, and feeling like me and Jasmine are a strong unity. We have our dogs. There's talk of a third dog, which Jasmine keeps trying to push for, a little black pug, maybe. But yeah, the few people that still ask the question, why do you leave Canada? The UK sucks. Well, guess what? When I was in Canada, people said, Canada sucks. Why would you leave the UK? The grass is always greener. But the main reason, as I've said before on past videos, why we left Canada was because of the situation that you still see going on there now, with the craziness and the I don't want to get into it too much, because I know there's so many different opinions, and not that I don't want to debate people, I don't want to speak about it, not even debate really, just talk about it, because that's the one thing we've lost as a culture, right? No one just talks to anyone about anything. They listen to the news, they listen to somebody to tell them what they should think, and then they use that and get angry and don't actually conversate with someone with a different point of view. All right, sorry guys, my hair is crazy by the way, but I got a phone call, hence why I'm now, it's like 3 hours later, I'm in different clothes. But yeah, to wrap that video up, the main reason why I left Canada, why we left Canada as a family, was because of the bullshit that you see happening now. Maybe you don't see, because it's not really, unless you're in Canada, it's not really publicized anywhere else outside of Canada. So it's kind of hidden, because I think it's been so poorly managed there. But that was the main reason. Hopefully one day we can return back to the Canada we once knew, the Canada that I arrived to in 2016. But who knows? Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'm going to try and get more content out. I always say this and then I lag and I don't, but I will, for anyone that's interested and watches this. But I guess I'll see you in the next one.